I get to introduce our Reverend Joanne. And boy, oh boy, you should hear what she's going to talk about. To everything there is a season. Reverend Joanne.
Thank you, Reverend Tress. Good morning, beautiful. Oh, thank you for affirming that back to me. I guess I should put my mic on there. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Red Deer. This place, it's a place of infinite possibilities. It's a place of light, love, and wisdom. And every one of you are here by divine appointment. So please join me in an opening affirmative prayer, or what we call spiritual mind treatment. Just take a deep, holy breath and go into your heart center where there is truth. I declare and know there is only one source of all wisdom, one love, I call God. I am the creative energy of the one, of the source. When I plug into my source, which is the universal divine, it all flows to me, through me, and from me with ease and grace, and I am at peace. In this moment, I know that I am wisdom, love, and light. And in this deep, deep knowing, I find my divine purpose and passion. Today, I claim and declare that all I need to know, be, or do at this season of my life and at the movement of the planet at this time, it's all mine. I already know what I need to know. It's within me. And as I open myself to receiving and get out of the way of judgment, it flows to me and through me for all who need to hear, including me. With loving thanks for this Center for Spiritual Living, for my place in the universe, for my place in the seasons of the universe, and my life, I am grateful. I let this go. I know my word is spoken. It is the power. It is the purpose. And together we say, and so it is. Let's take a moment in this stillness to bring into our consciousness all those who are at that season of life, this season of the year. Let's let them know that they are loved as we send them kindness, compassion. Allow them to know that they have a purpose. Today I ask you to hold Belle in your consciousness. Laura Lee called and she was hit by a car in Calgary, so we send her all the love and light that we have in our hearts. And my sister Susan. And each and every one of you, hold yourself in high consciousness. And for a moment, let us just reflect and send kindness and love to those who need it. Thank you. I'm sure you've all read Ecclesiastics. It starts with, to everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under heaven. Or in the words of Bob Dylan, come gather round people wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, then you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone, for the times they are changing. That wasn't in my talk, it just came to me. Today I have a twofold message. One of them is I want to talk about the physical seasons of the planet and what that means for our physical body, for our emotional body, for our spiritual body, because the times are changing. And the thing about the seasons is we go through them every single year. We go through spring, summer, fall, and winter. Goes over and over and over again. And what can we learn from that? From this constant movement from one to the next? Is there a message? Is it time for us to reflect? Reflect on our life and the things we need to change? I'm going to talk more about that in a minute. But the other one that I was thinking about is the seasons of your life that are broke down into like groups, into years. You know, the first 20, the next 20, the next 20, the next 20. Those are also seasons. And we only go through them once. Actually, when I was writing the talk, I thought, I think we go through them twice. The first 50 years, we go through all those seasons, and then the next 50 when we're free and retired, or whenever that is for us. In my mind, it was menopause. That's when I really felt free. So ultimately, our life path, our spiritual path, they all have a way to walk. And that's what I want to talk about, the map and the way to walk. You know, Ernest Holmes tells us about the seasons. He says, transition is to move through the changes in our life through meditation and prayer and affirmation. So I guess that's what I'm saying. Let's look at the path, the yearly path, the life path, and the way to walk that path in peace and joy. Ultimately knowing that the seasons of your life and the planet seasons are a map. They're a map to our higher selves. You know, really, how blessed are we to have this truth, this Ernest Holmes truth, to understand as we move through the times in our life with peace through meditation and affirmation. I think that's our greatest gift to society in this teaching, in Ernest Holmes' teaching, is the way. I know when I read the Bible, I read a lot of stuff, and I used to think, yeah, but how? Oh, yeah, I could do that, but how? And Ernest Holmes told us it's through affirmative prayer. It's through those 5 steps, 7 steps, 9 steps, whatever you call them, that recognizing there is a power greater than you are, and you can use it. I call it God. And that because I'm a co-creator, I'm created from that power. I have everything that that creator has. So recognition and unification. And then I can say my truth. I say it in the positive, I say it in the present, I declare and I know who I am. And then I express gratitude. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the center, for the teachers, for everybody here. And then I let it go, knowing that I've said my word, it's powerful, it's done, and we end with so it is. Affirmative prayer, Ernest Holmes says, is speaking to the divine, and meditation is listening. They're 2 sides of the same coin. Okay, back to Ecclesiastics. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. It goes on to say there's a time to live and a time to die. There's a time to plant and a time to reap. A time to heal and a time to break down. A time to mourn and a time to dance. And at the end is a very favorite ones of mine. It says, a time to love and a time of peace. And I'm just going to end that part of Ecclesiastics there. And if you want, you can look it up and read the whole thing. You know, as I'm studying, things in the Bible, I kind of open an onion and I think, oh, so what does that mean? Well, what is that? Where did Ecclesiastics come from? And this has absolutely nothing to do with the seasons, but I thought it was pretty interesting because it comes from King Solomon. And nobody really knows if it did come from King Solomon, but they did give him credit for it because he was known as the wisest man. So I thought, why was he known as the wisest man? Well, the story says that God came to him and said, what do you want? And he said, instead of asking for riches or long life or victory, he asked for wisdom and a discerning heart. Now, people from all nations followed him because of his wisdom and discerning heart. And that was so encouraging to me. I was so happy until I saw, well, just like the rest of us, he got caught in trying to please others and had a fall from grace. So I think the message is, when you're in wisdom and you know your truth, stand in your power, because this is the time. This is the time for every purpose under heaven. So the 4 seasons, we all know what they are, physical life that go around and around and around. But today we're going to talk about autumn. Autumn means embracing change and letting go. In our physical life, everything came as an embracing for me. Autumn is embracing change and letting go. And then winter is a time for embracing rest and reflection. Spring is a time for embracing renewal and rebirth. And summer is a time for embracing growth and abundance. So the first thing I look at in the seasons is our physical life, is that it continues on and on. No beginning and no end. And right now we're in the time of fall. It's such an important time. This is what I want to tell you. This is a time when the leaves begin to fall. And like I put in the children's message, to bless the leaves and encourage them to try again next year. Boy, how often do we give ourselves permission to start over? It's like, that didn't work. Okay, I'm giving up. No, the autumn leaves are a message that it will come back. But also autumn's a time to reflect too and release old behaviors that are holding us back and make room for new experiences. Another thing I saw in the Bible when I used to drink a lot of wine, where it said you can't drink from an empty chalice, so I took that to heart. But I think that's about releasing and letting go. You can't embrace if you're already full of things that no longer serve you. So you have to release that. As I was reflecting on letting go and the changing seasons, I was just floored because I thought, oh my goodness, you don't even know that things are changing. Everybody in here, I bet you, is going through a change of some kind. For me, fall is a new year. And I often say in my talks, I think fall should be the new year. And that was when I had kids going to school. It was like, hallelujah, it's a new year. And the kids are going back to school, and they graduate to another grade. And so for me, I always felt that fall was my new year. It was time for me to renew, and release. At this center even, we're in a state of transition. We're in a state of change. And we have to release some things and embrace some new things. So let's all just embrace that as we leave here today. Embrace change and letting go. That autumn season, it's so great because it makes room for spring, summer. Oh, forget winter. Yeah, I guess you got to make room for winter, spring, and summer. I don't know why I didn't put that in here. It opens up to possibilities. All possibilities of emotional, spiritual healing. It opens space for a new, abundant life. When we let go, it opens a space for us to embrace our true selves, like Ernest Holmes says, the true colors that we are. Do you know the leaves only change color when they release the chlorophyll? That's what makes the colors. So if we release something, are we going to be more colorful? I'm pretty sure we are. Lori's such an amazing artist. I bet you fall's a miraculous time, eh, Lori, for artists? And I probably knew that all along, but I thought, wow, they don't really change colors. They have to let go of something in order to embrace those colors. So I think our true selves are finally revealed when we release our false identity, our expectations, and declare who we truly are. So that's the physical seasons. And the next season is in Genesis, I saw. It comes as surely as night follows day. So you don't have to worry, because the seasons of your life are going to happen whether you want them or not. The seasons of the physical world are going to happen whether you want them or not. In Genesis chapter 8 it says, as long as the earth endures seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night will never cease. And I'm going to talk about that next week, a time to reap. So a lot of what I've talked about so far relates to the constant change of the seasons and how we can adapt. Now, what about the seasons of your life that you only go through once or twice? They're the same, they're similar, you go through them all. However, in our physical life, we think of spring being the beginning, and then summer and fall and winter. But what about if fall actually is a new year for us? It is for me. And like I said, when I was writing this, I thought, maybe I went through it twice. So holy smokes, I'm still in the spring of my life. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And when I was thinking about the life seasons, they start with renew, which is birth. Receive, which is summer. Release, which is autumn. And re-envision, which is winter. Renew, birth, rebirth, dreaming, exploring possibilities. Receive, to awaken, to grow and question. To release is to remember, to rewind, to integrate, to deepen your roots. And winter, to re-envision, to grow into your deeper self. Your inner wisdom flourishes. And maybe they're both valid. Renew, receive, release, or re-envision. Or, for me it was, I had to release first. That's why autumn is my spring. First I had to let go of everything I ever knew about myself and started coming here and learned that I was the master of my own destiny, that I had the power to change my life by changing my thinking. For me, it was release. Then I could re-envision my life. Then I could renew my belief in myself and others. That's when I started to receive. So I'll let you think about that. And maybe we all start at a different season. For me, autumn was my new year. Maybe for you, it's summer. Maybe you have to receive in order to renew and release and re-envision. I think we all start at a certain point in our life, wherever you are right now. That's where you're starting. I think that's where that quote came. Bloom where you're planted. Our teacher, Ernest Holmes, when I was reading what he says about the seasons, he connects the idea of seasons as to spiritual, ongoing process, just like I thought. Rebirth, transformation, endless creation. And he emphasized that the individual can align with their dynamic flow to manifest new opportunities and joy. And he also teaches, we talk a lot about planting and reaping and seeds and soil and plant in his philosophy. He teaches that just as nature's cycle goes through seasons, the human spirit is in a state of perpetual unfoldment. And each moment presents an opportunity. Everything presents an opportunity for a new life and even greater good. So wherever you are on your journey, seasons are an invitation to grow, to change, and to lift your consciousness. Spring, embracing renewal. Summer, embracing growth. Autumn, embracing change. Winter, embracing rest. Or for me, release, re-envision, renew, and receive. On your own season, know that this message is for you. Start where you're planted. And my intention this week is that as we enter this new season, especially me, and it's a reminder to me, wherever I am right now, I know that the season of my life and the planetary seasons are a map to a higher consciousness. Renew, receive, release, re-envision. It's all truth. It's our inheritance. It's our destiny. Wherever you are is perfect, because this is your season. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. I am Reverend Joanne, Faith, Peace, and Love Boruck, and I wish you an amazing autumn with abundant harvest of love and wisdom. And so it is.